I wanted to do a quick video, actually kind of really talking about the confusion, all of the information confusion and the overload that it actually creates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the whole,
Overload.
it's trying to keep you
Twin flame overload.
Yeah, if I can keep you in your head, then you'll make the greatest decisions by listening to your head. And that's not going to work. Especially if you're trying to find multiple things of information outside you. When are you going to stop and look inside you? Because the information that you're seeking can only be found in there.
There's an awful lot of information out there that guides you to seek outward.
Yes. And usually we seek outward as a means to validate what we want to know. So what you're saying inside of here, you're going to seek to find. The good one, let's see, is this my twin flame? On the inside, you know the truth, but you want to seek out somebody on the outside to tell you it's the truth. But what you'll end up finding is somebody who's going to either make you more confused or tell you yes or no. And then you're going to have to base that information off of what you want to compare on the inside. Do you deserve unconditional love would be the ultimate question that you need to ask yourself. You don't need to ask other people. Other people will give you what other people information is. They want you to believe their story, not yours. We didn't tell our story so you could believe this. We wanted you to see the truth about batshit crazy.
Oh.
Because if you didn't see the truth about batshit crazy, how would you know you're connected? You're going to be connected to shit that's going to make you feel completely disconnected from yourself and completely connected to yourself at the same time.
And seriously disconnected from everybody else.
Unless they talk the same lingo, which is you don't deserve unconditional love. Or the unconditional love you're seeking is the same one you grew up with, which is in most cases what you're going to find when you get into this connection. You'll have a vacation for a period of time, and then you'll end up going into old thinking and old behaviors and old patterns. And it's all designed to make you keep looking on the outside to fix what's inside. How's that working out for you? I did it.
You did it. All this information, on the internet, it's very, very similar to, oh, my right index finger's hurting. I'm going to go to WebMD and see, I got finger cancer and my finger's going to fall off now.
Yes.
Right? It's all the, I shouldn't have named that website. But anyway, oops. Now I'm in trouble.
You can bleep it out.
Yeah, I can. I'm not gonna. But, we really do. We do that. We go to we get a headache or our finger hurts or we get an ear infection or something happens, and we seek out information on the internet, and the next thing you know, you're dying, and in all reality, you just got a bee sting. But it's what happens in the twin flame community when you start to feel things and things are manifesting, and God forbid you talk to a family member or a close friend about it, then they're committing you, and then you get silent and you can't talk at all, and then you start to look for answers, and you start to Google, and you start to go to YouTube and watch 17 million videos from 17 million different people. And we're not saying that anybody's right or anybody's wrong. What we try to do is basically just spit the truth as we know it from our journey, our personal twin flame journey, and knowing that what it took to get us to where we are and to where we're heading is completely different from somebody else's. It's our truth and how we know it. I mean, we're here. We're on video. We're sitting next to each other together, speaking about what we went through and how we went through it, and can teach that from experience, from how we did it.
Yes.
Which is what we do. What we do as coaches, which is not only limited to twin flame coaching, it's coaching in general, the basis of Relationship Reinvented is reinventing the relationship you have to yourself, so you're able to reinvent the relationship you have with others. Therefore, changing your entire life, changing the way you interact and act with the twin, with your mother, with your father, with your sister, with your brother, with your husband, with your wife, with your kids.
You'll be in connection who you're connected to.
Oh.
Sorry, that has everything to do with your story and your storyteller, but nothing to do with the truth.
We forgot to turn the notifications off.
Bing,
There.
bing, bing.
We keep forgetting.
No, it's okay. At least Gemma's not talking. And shh. I completely, everything that you want to go out there and find is going to make sure that you divide yourself into several different things, but never ultimately being who you're supposed to be on the inside of you. All of the thinking that other people can put into your head has to fit somewhere with your story. The issue is that when you're trying to fit what other people think into your story becomes useless. And the only way you're going to get through the uselessness of your story is to treat it like a cup. You'll either drink or you'll pour the shit out. The choice is yours.
Kind of depends on what's in the cup, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, because there are some stuff that tastes good, but there are some stuff that does taste really bad. And this leads into what we really wanted to say when it comes to what you think negative energies can do to your connection. And I'm going to say it simply like this. You have a positive heartbeat that is happening to you right in this moment. And every negative thought you have is trying to offset that. But none of your thoughts have ever stopped your heart. Pay attention to where the positive energy comes from. It comes from inside of you. Not your thinking, but inside your heart. Get it right. You can't allow negativity in there to stop your heart. So really, do dark energies and negativity have any power over you? Well, if your heart just stopped just now, you won. This is a card game that you came fully prepared for. Your deck is fully loaded, and you have a full house. It's not working for you. Negative energy is negative energy, but it's a negative thought that really ultimately does nothing to the positive heartbeat. Reflect inside, because the truth is in the heart. Not in the thinking that the heart tries to represent for you, because the thinking will always make sure it creates some sort of story that you got to fall into, and some kind of thing of looking outside you to think that that story matters to the human heart. It does not. This connection is through the heart. Your connection to source is through the heart. Your thinking about it has never changed that. What you had to endure never changed that. The one thing that has always been with you and has always been true to you is that heartbeat. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. Negativity and its influence, things have to exist, both positive and negative. Are you sure that the positive spark of your own heartbeat isn't brighter than anything else in the universe of you?
Look, we all get tired. We all get tired of what we're going through, of where we're at. We all get tired of the hamster wheel that we call life and the cycles that we go through. And we all look for answers, and we all look for validation of, am I really feeling this, or is it suggestion? And that's why we go looking for things, and we get so much confusion. Who's right, who's wrong, who's real, who's not, who you resonate with, who I don't, who's mean, who's nice. There's so many factors out there when it comes to finding the truth and eliminating the confusion. Eliminating the confusion is easy. It's in you. Lee or I, or no other coaches or spiritual teachers, except for our Relationship Reinvented coaches, because we put that in our program. I had to add that. But We can't tell you. Nobody can tell you how you're feeling.
Mm.
You tell us how you're feeling, and we'll tell you why you're feeling that way. We can do that. Um, we can tell you how you're feeling that way, how you got there, why you got there. Um, we can tell you the truth, and sometimes people don't like that because sometimes the truth hurts, but it is the truth. It is what it is. And next time we will turn off the notifications. Um, um, no one can tell you how you're feeling. And there's no one who can tell you that is or is not the one you're connected to. I was going to say who is or is not your twin flame, but I'm not going to put that out there, but I just did. Um, no one can tell you that. I can't look at you and say, oh yeah, he's got brown hair and blue eyes, and I just can't do that. I'm not saying nobody else should be or not be doing that. I'm just saying I don't feel it's possible. It's in you. You tell us.
Yep. And the way that you tell us is we have the ability to understand, and I think because of our connection, have been able to achieve super consciousness, which means the art of active listening, not telling. We already know who the storyteller is. We already understand the thoughts that create the ability not to understand what silence truly is. If you're not listening, you haven't achieved consciousness. Not from what other people say to you, but what you say to you. And our coaches have that. They've all been going through it, and we've gone through it, and we stay in it. That's why we're not out here actively just seeking people to don't listen to them, don't do this. Don't. This is not what this is. This is about why you would be triggered by what somebody else says, because that triggers in you, not them.
The ones who will say to us, "I'm good. I'm healed. I don't need any. I don't need. I've been doing inner work my whole life. I still need inner work. We all need inner work. Healed is not really attainable. Keeping it in healing is. I have scars that I've had since I was 7. They look healed to me.
You know what that reminds me of, though? Is you just need a visual of what she's saying right now when it comes to healed versus healing. When you're healed, you're taking the shovel and you've dug a hole and you've put what you said in there, and then you buried it and you just smacked all. That's what you're doing when you're saying, I've healed that. Whereas in healing, you're constantly watering and putting light on what needs to stay in healing.
And keeping love in it.
That's where true growth happens. It doesn't happen in what other people tell you. It's what's going on the inside of you that's keeping you from understanding where your triggers really came from. You buried them.
How do I go into healing? How do I stay into healing? What do I do? Where do I start? That's where we come in. That's what we do. We're here to help. There's other spiritual teachers, other coaches out there willing to help. We have a coaching family that's amazing, willing to help. We can help you get into healing, but you have to want to do the work. You have to want to eliminate the confusion. You have to want to stop the hamster wheel by eliminating the confusion. You have to want to stop. There's some of you out there that enjoy it, and I accept that and I appreciate that. But if you're really, truly wanting to stop cycles, truly wanting to stop, then it's time to stop. And we're here to help.
And if you got it twisted, don't worry, you can untwist it.
Eliminate the confusion.
Yep.
That's step 1.
Anybody who's pointing you outside yourself and pointing at somebody else as your means for salvation, stop listening to you the moment you started talking.
We're gonna do another video too that's going to be coming out after this one. We're gonna call it Twin Flames and Mystical Things, and it also we're going to talk about what happens when you get into the twin flame community and the dynamic and everything, and then instead of really starting out with baby steps and keeping it simple and keeping the confusion at bay, what happens is then we get bombarded by all this information, and now we're wondering about what vortexes are and what chakra blockages are and what unicorns and butterflies mating means and retrogrades and planet alignment and astrology and all these mystical, amazing, wonderful things that don't or that should not come into play until the inner work is in healing.
And the inner work is all about your inner peace. Because everything happens in silence, even all of the things she just mentioned. And silence is the true energy of the truth.
Then and only then, once it starts, it's a birthing process. And what happens is in the community is we try to jump from self-love to triangles and stars.
Yeah.
And signs and symbols. And closing up holes and opening up universes. And there's so much.
Yeah, and you know, the really beautiful part of this is you have a choice to invest yourself in the politics of it or don't. And we're trying to say, don't.
Politics and religion.
I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that there's always going to be something leading you other than you until you make you the choice of leading yourself. So take that for what it's worth. We do appreciate your time today.
Yes, we do.
And we'll hopefully see you soon.